Hello and welcome to Hurst. I'm so glad you're joining me today. My name is Robin and you and I are going to cover an NCLEX style question together. Now, before we do that, I want to talk about that NCLEX test just for a minute, okay? Let's talk about it just for a minute. Now, if you do not pass the first time, your odds of passing decrease. And let me just go a step further and tell you, the NCSBN, they tell us that your chances decrease around 45 to 50%. Y'all, that is drastic. We do not want to fail this test. We want to pass it the very first time, okay? Now, talk to me in the chat box. Tell me in the comments, what is the purpose of this test? You've done everything your instructors have asked you to do. You've finished school, you've turned in that last paper, but you still have to take the dreaded NCLEX. Why? What is the purpose of it? Can someone tell me? Can you tell me in the chat box? If you're in Zoom or if you're live, just tell me in the comments. Tell me, what is the purpose of this test? Okay, I see safety. Yes, that is right, Valerie. It is a safety test. Look right here. It is designed to protect the public from unsafe nurses. Hey, just before they can't just hand you a license until they know that you're going to be a safe nurse, right? Let me ask you a question. Do you think you will be able to keep yourself safe? What about your coworkers? Hey, they're important too, right? And of course, your clients. You have got to show the NCLEX that you will always pick an answer that's going to keep everyone safe and alive. That's the name of the game with the NCLEX. And guess what? Hurst Review will help you do that. This test is unlike your nursing school test, but Hurst Review is here to prepare you for that. All right. Are you ready for a question? My friend Thomas is going to put a question on the screen. Now, I'm going to give you just a minute, and I want you to chat your answers, okay? I want you putting them in that chat box or in the comments. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is it's a select all that apply. I want to tell you how you need to approach that. You will see that select all that apply, bolded letters, okay? I want you to read that question, and then I want you to approach each option as a true, false option. Choose all of the true answers as your correct answer. Ask yourself, is that true or is that false, okay? Now, you could have up to 10 options on the NCLEX, okay? There are no limit on how many could be correct. It could be one, but guess what? It could be all of them, okay? So do your best, and I will be right back, and we will go over the correct answers with the rationales. All right, let's answer this question together. Let's read it together first. An unresponsive 13-year-old is brought into the emergency department. Based on the nursing assessment and the current lab data, which interventions would be appropriate for you, the nurse, to initiate? Select all that apply. Now, when you look at this question, y'all, it is also an exhibit. What is an exhibit? Why is that called an exhibit? Well, you have an extra tab right there, right? Listen, you may find things like x-ray reports, nursing notes. Do you have to open up that exhibit tab? You do not. Do you know that you can choose your answer and move on to the next question? But guess what? There is so much information under there that could help you answer that question. Why wouldn't you get all of the information that you can to select the answer to help your client, right? So make sure when you see an exhibit, open that up and look at all of that information. Okay, so select all that apply. So we are going to go through each option and we're going to ask ourselves, is that true or is that false? Look at your first one, administer KXLA. What do you think about that one? Is that one true or is that false? Well, let me tell you, that one is false. It is false. What is KXLate used for? Think about KXLate. Well, we use that to decrease potassium, don't we? That's right. If the client's potassium is high, which it is, it's high. It's a high normal, right? Wouldn't your client who is experiencing DKA, won't they also be receiving some insulin? Absolutely. We know that our client is in DKA and they're going to be given some insulin. So what does insulin cause to happen to the glucose and the potassium? Not just the glucose. Remember, it does the same thing with the potassium. What does it do? It drives them out of the vascular space and over into the cells, right? Yes. So insulin can cause the client's serum potassium to drop. It could get critically low. You don't want to give a medication that is going to make it go low as well. So number one is going to be false. Look at number two. Administer IV of normal saline, 1,000 milliliters with regular insulin, 100 units at 10 mils per hour. True or false? What do you think about that one? I think that one is true. Great job. Yes, that one is true. Do you see in the stem where the client is experiencing polyuria? Do y'all see that? The polyuria? At Hurst, we teach you when you see polyuria, we want you to think shock first. Polyuria equals shock, okay? Now, I want to give normal saline because normal saline is an isotonic solution. That means it's going to go into the vascular space, right? And it's going to stay there. It's going to rehydrate my client and bring that blood pressure back up. Now, do you see those vital signs? Looks like shock to me, right? Does this client need some insulin? Absolutely. The glucose is high, so the client needs insulin. All right, number two is true. Look at number three. Start oxygen at 2 liters per nasal cannula. Well, what do you think about that one? That one is false, and let me tell you why. The client's PO2 is 96%. When do we worry about oxygenation? When do we worry, y'all? When it gets to 90 or below, right? 90% less. So, less than 90%. We don't need to hyperoxygenate here, okay? So number three is false. Okay, what do you think about number four? Start a second IV for fluid resuscitation. What do you think? That one is true. Clients in DKA, they get 2 IVs, don't they? And we're going to run that normal saline as fast as we can. Y'all, this client is dehydrated, aren't they? And they need to be replenished quickly. And that is our job, to keep them from going into shock. So number 4 will be true. What do you think about number 5? Insert an indwelling urinary catheter. That one is true. Yes, good job. Okay, don't you think you need a way to measure the client's urinary output? Well, a urinary catheter will allow you to do this. Hey, with the fluid problem, do you think we have a fluid problem right here? Yes, and then you can anytime you have a fluid problem, I&Os are always appropriate. So, inserting the indwelling urinary catheter would be true. So, there are your true options, number 2, number 4, and number 5. Now, I want to ask you a question. If you did not know your content like a brand new nurse should, do you think you could think your way through this question and answer this the way you should? Could you safely pick the answer? No, you could not. Now, since I said a brand new nurse, I want to talk to you just a minute. You need to think like a brand new nurse when you get on the NCLEX. What does that mean? Well, I want you to think NCLEX-y. And you're thinking, well, how do you think NCLEX-y? Well, you have got to assume the worst. You have got to pretend like something bad is happening in every test question. Hey, you will never go wrong if you assume the worst, okay? Safety, 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 y'all. There is going to be a safety issue in every test question. Now, you may not think it's a safety issue. You may not see it as safety, but there is a safety issue in every one of these test questions. So, I want you to assume the worst. Fix the problem if you can. If there's an option there that's within your scope of practice and you can choose that to help your client and fix the problem, that's what you have to do. All right, moving on. Hurst Free NCLEX Events. There's a QR code right here, or you can go to hurstreview.com/free-events. You do not want to miss any of these free NCLEX events, okay? We have many reviews where you'll get a snapshot of what one of our reviews really looks like. NCLEX challenge questions like what you and I are doing right now. Also, NCLEX 101. Hey, that is that core information that every student needs to know before they go sit for the NCLEX. So, invite your friends and check out all of our free events. Again, QR code right there, or go to hurstreview.com/free-events. Make sure you're following us on all of the social media outlets. My friends Ashley and Sarah, they love to keep you up to date on what's going on in the NCLEX world and in the Hurst world. Listen, they have like I said, we have free events. They are also now doing podcasts. Follow along, Hurst Review Podcast. You will really enjoy that. Now, I have a discount for you, okay? Free 2025. That gets you $40 off of InStream, which is a live streaming Hurst Review. $25 off of Hurst Now, and that is a video. You can do the review by watching a video. Gets you $25 off of that, or Hurst Now Plus. Hurst Now Plus includes Elevate. Now let me just tell you, you can add Elevate to any of Hurst Review options, okay? That is a companion course. We call it your study buddy. Students asked for that and Hurst Review created it. Once they finished their review, they wanted more guidance. They're like, we need someone to help us through the guidance, through the study of Hurst. And that's how Elevate was created. Now, the last one I want to talk to you about is acid-base essentials. If you struggle with acid-base, this is for you. We have a 4-part series. You can find it at hurstreview.com. And you can sign up to take these acid-base essential courses. We make it easy for you. Some of you have probably not reviewed acid-base since your first semester of nursing school, right? So if you need a good refresher, or if you struggle with acid-base, check out this product. Free 2025 is going to get you that product. All right, guess what? I get to give away a prize today. I get to give away a QBank. That is 1,500 practice questions, okay? If you are registered for this event and you've never won before, you are eligible to win. Now, my friend Thomas, he has randomly chosen one of you, so I'm going to see who the winner is, okay? Priscilla Tran. Congratulations, Priscilla. You are the winner of a 1,500 question bank. You are registered. No need to contact us. We will get in touch with you. You will Yay! You will see this in about 3 to 5 business days, okay? So watch your email. All right, that's all I have for you today. Here is our home office phone number and HurstReview.com. Write that down. Take a screenshot here. Listen, if you have questions that you just cannot find the answers to when you go to the website, call our home office. There is someone here eagerly waiting to talk to you. We love nursing students. All right, I want you to stay safe, and I want you to come back and see us real soon, okay? Bye for now.